Then the final fight on the card, the main event, we have the Spider, Anderson Silva, taking on primetime Uriah Hall. Anderson Silva, obviously a legend. While long in the tooth, he's now 45 years old.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he's that old. He did say this will be his last fight, but in his prime, he was arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So elusive. His Muay Thai, his clinch was second to none. He had that ability to make opponents look as if they didn't belong in the octagon with them. So good. But at the time, obviously, just on another level than anyone doing the thing. However, in his last 8, he's 1-6 and won no contest. He is, as I said, he's 45 years old. He's clearly not what he once was. He's taken on Uriah Hall, who has now won 2 straight. He's a tremendous kickboxer. He's got very explosive and violent power when he's on, and he has a lot of potential. But at times, as we've seen, he can be a little bit of a head case. He's a little bit inconsistent. He wins the fights that he should, but when he goes against like big name guys, Whitaker, I think Whitaker, Costa, like a lot of these bigger names, when it's against them, he seems to kind of wilt under the pressure and get beat. Granted, those are really good guys, but still, he hasn't seized the moment in one of those big fights yet. However, in this case, I do see him having the skills to do enough on the feet to outpoint an elderly and pass his prime Silva. So I'm going with Hall. I'm saying decision win. Who you got here and why?
Man, it is crazy to see that the decline for Anderson Silva was so sharp, right? When he fought Chris Weidman the first time, he was a massive favorite. He was untouchable. He was at the top of the mountain. And since that, he obviously got knocked out in that fight. Then he lost to Weidman again, no contest. Nick Diaz lost to Michael Bisping, lost to Daniel Cormier. Kind of a lackluster decision win over Brunson, but then lost to Israel Adesanya, lost to Jaron Cannonier. Fighting killers still. I'll give him credit for that. But what a drop off from what we had seen at his height. This is an interesting fight because I go both ways. Is it going to be a spectacular showing from Uriah Hall where he puts it all together and looks like he could be the best fighter of all time? Because he has those moments where he shows you absolute flashes of greatness, not just brilliance, but greatness. But then he also shows you where he'll stand and look to counter for 15 minutes and lose in decision. So, I don't know if he's going to look like he did against Brunson, or Anderson Silva against Brunson, where Brunson gave Anderson Silva so much respect that Anderson was able to win it on the judges' scorecards because Brunson just seemed incapable of coming forward and putting pressure and damage on Anderson, even though it seemed like it was there for him. But I think that Uriah Hall at this point of his career, he's 36 years old. He's been around forever. You know, he's been fighting really high level guys since fighting, even Chris Weidman before the UFC back in 2010. So I expect him to kind of put it on an older Anderson Silva. Anderson said that this is going to be his last fight.
Yeah.
And you really got to wonder where his mindset and his
one
body
foot out the door there.
And his body is, man. I mean, he's been in wars for such a long time now.
His poor leg.
And a couple of those bad leg injuries. And I just think that Uriah Hall should win this fight. This is no way that he should lose this, whether it's by decision or he's able to, hurt him to the body or, finish him upstairs. I just think that Uriah Hall, at this point of their careers, usually if someone's saying they're 36, well, he's the old guy in the fight. Well, he's almost 10 years younger than
he's a young
Anderson Silva. So I think Uriah Hall and I expect it to be kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah, sad knockout sad, or you think decision?
I think Anderson will make it to the end.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think he'll make it to the end.
Okay, so we're in agreement there. Decision win for Anderson Silva.
No, for Uriah Hall.
Or for Uriah Hall. I'm thinking what I want to happen.
Exactly. It'd be awesome if he turned back the clock, but
one last win before he goes.
Seems like an ask too much.
Yeah, that is true.
I'll be excited. I mean, it's the last time, like you said, we were talking about moments in MMA.
Historical moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's Anderson. That was the guy that we grew up with, right? In our whole childhood, he was the guy that could not be beat. He was the one that was the biggest fights of the year. He was the guy when we were growing up. So I guess
front kicking, Belfort, just all of his.
Kicked him in the face. One of Joe Rogan's best calls. I guess it just means we're getting old.
I think so. Yeah, that blew my mind when I saw that he was 45 years old. It's crazy. I thought maybe 40 is what I thought, but yeah. Whew. Well, that about does it for Tell Me Why. We'll be right back with a little bit of Payment Pick'em.